There's clearly a reason why I haven't got any makeup at all and no eyebrows. Yeah, it was a shitstorm 2020. Hey guys, welcome back to another video on my channel that you probably didn't click for, or in this case you may have. Today I'm going to be discussing racism. I'm clearly a woman of colour, and I am someone who's directly affected by systematic racism in the UK as well as worldwide. A lot of people have had their eyes open to white privilege and systematic racism for the first time. This is something that's been going on for years, and I feel like people of colour and black people have been shouting out that white privilege exists, and a lot of people have been denying it, and only now with the Amy Cooper video and the unfortunate killing of George Floyd and others during this time, people are finally starting to realise, and I think the world media are finally starting to pay attention. It's bigger than social media, where I feel like before it was mainly on social media, and now is reaching a wider audience. And I can honestly say thank you to those that have finally admitted or finally realised that being born a different colour is given you privileges that you didn't ask for, and we're not saying that you are aware of them or that you are less privileged in money sense or health sense than anyone of someone with the same kind of skin as I, that you are systematically benefiting from something that was put in place years ago to put people like myself at a disadvantage. I personally feel that what's going on in the United States is a big wake-up call, but at the same time there's a part of me that feels like this isn't the time that it happens, this isn't the defining moment, and that is unfortunate because I feel like there's still a section of the population that is still blind to what's happening or still in denial, and this isn't going to be the turning point. It feels like the bit before the turning point. I feel like there's dominoes that this domino is so close to reaching this one to top it over, but there isn't enough people to make the effect of knocking it over. Unfortunately, I feel like that's the next point. There's also the conversation of the violence and the looting that has been happening, that thing that was inevitable but still shouldn't happen. So for example, with the looting, please, it's not doing anything, and I feel like it's just opportunist people that may not even be supporting Black Lives Matter that are looting. And for me, on a wider scale, a lot of people associate black people with the looting and have that, oh well, clearly they don't know how to behave civilly, so why should they have the same rights as everyone else? And that's very damaging, and I feel like there's a few people that may know that and may be doing it for that reason. And then there's a few people that are opportunists, especially if you see that some of the people looting are people of colour that are thinking smaller than the bigger picture. They're feeling like, oh, this is an opportunity for me to get something, rather than this is an opportunity for me to hear my voice be heard. In terms of the violence, we'll look at the police and the irony of the police using police brutality against protesters that are protesting police brutality, and how wrong that is, and the fact that they can't see that. And for any of those officers or military personnel or anyone like that of the National Guard in America that feel that this is wrong but they are just following orders, stand up. Join the protesters like some of them have. Be the protesters' army. Protect the protesters. You have riot gear on. If you feel as either a black officer, a person of colour, or someone that just genuinely feels that black people should have a voice, and that your I don't know what to call it, your organisation as a law enforcer is doing the wrong thing, break away from the crowd. Protect those that need protecting. Don't enforce something that shouldn't be enforced. I feel like I'm going in circles here, but I think the movement would get even further if those that wear the badge actually honour their badge and go on the side of peaceful protesters and actually protect them from what Trump is telling them to do. And then on the topic of Trump, that is not a president, that's a dictator, and that's the end of that. There's not more to say to that. You don't tear gas peaceful protesters. Regardless of all the other things you've done, there's been protests for COVID-19 and people wearing their masks, but therefore they didn't have officers with riot gear facing them. They didn't get tear gassed, and you can see the difference there. And I'm not saying that there is the racing there, which there clearly is, but there are obviously white people protesting with people that are of colour with this Black Lives Matter movement, and they're still being attacked, and it's because they're speaking out. It's because they want change, and unfortunately sometimes with change you have to go through the hard bits first to get there. So unfortunately I think we're going to see this for a while. In terms of the UK, luckily for us our protests have been calm, but there is still a problem. I still go into a shop and I still feel like I'm being watched because of the colour of my skin, and there's something in that as well, because a lot of the time the security guards are black people, and for some reason systematically they've been told that black people steal more, and even though they're of the same race they are still blindly thinking that way. And actually with a lot of the videos I've seen of the protests, there have been, like for example the two that were in the car that were coming back from the protest just after the curfew that were tasered by police.
Guys, come to me right now. 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 Come to me. Come to me right now. This woman just got tased. Come to me right now. Come to me right now.
So I came back to record this, but notice how a lot of the officers are black and they are still using their police brutality. I know it's Atlanta, it's a predominantly black place, but it's still a problem there as well. And notice the car in front as well. Before, if you go back, the lady is waving because she does not have the same fear. They were black officers that tasered them, that slashed the tyres, and my brain was going, why are you doing this to your own people when they are trying to do something for when you are not in uniform? You could be targeted. And that feels like it's just a brainwashing thing, that they have so much power that they're targeting their own, and that's not right. That's not protection. But yeah, as a person of colour, I don't want I don't want to feel that every time I cross the street that I'm scared of, like at a zebra crossing, where a car has to stop because you're crossing. I don't want to feel that when I'm crossing, a car won't stop because the wrong person is behind the wheel, because it's a racist person behind the wheel, and I lose my life because of that. I don't want to feel that people move to the other side of the street because I'm coming, or people don't think I'm capable of my job because of my colour, or, and I'm not saying where I work now, in fact where I work now is very good, but there may have been places in the past, or other people that experience that because of their skin they're seen, or because of the way I wear my hair, that I'm any less than anyone else. So yeah, that's my thoughts on what's going on. I'm in a relationship, interracial relationship, where we've been having discussions in our household, and I'm very lucky that my partner, who I'll say again is a professional wrestler, is using his platform to retweet and make give light to what's going on, and I'm very lucky for that, and I'm very grateful for that. And obviously my children are of mixed heritage as well, so they have family that are white, that I'm hoping are, for the first time, some of them are seeing that this is a problem. I do want to say that unfortunately, because of systematic racism, me as a person growing up, I'm now completely comfortable in my skin, but growing up I was always led to believe that white is right. And some of you may know watching, if you know me personally, but if you don't, my father is mixed race. His mother is white. So growing up, I used to wish, and it's terrible to think now, but I used to wish that if he had only procreated with a white woman, my skin would be white, and I wouldn't be facing the things that I was facing and still facing to this day, but with the view that if I had changed my skin colour, it would have been easier for me in life, with the way people perceive me. And that is a horrible thing to think. And not only that, it's my children. You saw them in the last video. One is clearly white passing and the other one looks mixed, and for that, to know that one child would be treated differently to the other one, and I've seen it happen, it's horrible to think that because one of my children was born fairer, that they are treated differently in this world to the one that was born darker. It's ridiculous. It's a pigmentation of melanin. We shouldn't be treated differently as people because we are born a different colour. It's very hard sometimes when watching people of your skin colour be treated this way, being killed this way, that you were like, that could be me, and that could be people I know, my family, my friends. I do have family in America. I may not be close with them, but I do. And to know that they could be killed because of their skin, or in this country brutalised or picked on because of their skin, like, what? It's ridiculous. And honestly, I don't know where I'm going with this, because it just feels like I just need to get things out, and usually, I know I've just restarted this channel and I want it to be lighthearted, but this is not a lighthearted situation. It's a real situation that people are living with every day, that needs to be changed. I've got to say, please do not say all lives matter, because all lives matter can't matter until Black Lives Matter as well. We are under that umbrella. We are a life. We are all lives, but we happen to be black, and we happen to be discriminated against because of our skin systematically. So until that changes, all lives can't matter. Simple. Yeah, I want to thank you for clicking on the video if you have. Guys, love and be loved, because it's very important to love your neighbour, love each other. I'm not religious, but clearly this is common sense to not be horrible to each other. And yeah, be safe. Black lives do matter, and I hope we can all find peace one day. Thanks. Bye. Hey guys, I filmed this during one shot, mostly, and it may seem like a bit of a ramble. Some of it may not seem to make sense, but I was trying to get my thoughts out. Please do comment below if you need to start a discussion. and please take the time to try and change your thinking. If you are a person that isn't of black, or a person that is black, because to be fair, there are black people that will move on the other side of the road because there's a black gang or a black group of people. So it's not like we're not doing the systematic racist, like what I was saying about the security guards. It's been fed into us that there's a problem with black people, and unfortunately other black people believe it. Yeah, so I think we all need to work really hard on changing the way we view things, changing the way we do things. Smile more at people, don't judge people, please don't follow us around the shops. More representation on TV, so there isn't just a representation of black people being thugs. We are all the same. We are all the same. I'm in an interracial family. Like, I come from an interracial family. We are all very similar people, and we should all be able to be treated as one.